Hello and welcome to Silverstone for the third to last meeting of the season for the 2017 BRSCC Fiesta Championship. It's split grids once again on the national circuit, and on pole position for race 1 in Class C is Danny Harrison. And Danny, it's a bit of an intriguing weekend for you because of course you're on pole on a brand new car.
Yeah, it's been quite a difficult weekend so far. We had spent a whole day Friday running a new engine and basically just getting our car set up back to how our old one was. So we're looking forward to a strong finish now that it's all set up, as we proved in qualifying, putting it on pole. So hopefully from here we can go and make it from a lights to flag win, and same with race 2 and 3. But it's all down to my sponsor, BRSCC Racing, for sorting out the car for this weekend. They've done a great job, so massive thanks to them.
Fantastic. Well, best of luck, and fingers crossed you can make the podium.
Thank you.
And now let's take you to the first race start, and here's Richard John Neal to take you through the full grid.
Thank you, Scott. Danny Harrison indeed on pole, Josh Gollin alongside, then Simon Horrobin and David Nye, Jamie Going and Richard Ashmole on row 3, Lewis Kent, championship leader with Sam Watkins on row 4, row 5, Nathan Edwards and Nat Gollin, then Josh Watkins and Lee Dendy Sadler, Larry Cosmin and Nick Sanderson next from Bradley Kent, having his senior debut, and then it's Mark and Ryan Falconbridge. Green flag wave from the back of the field, and round 14 of the championship is underway. Right of shot, the white car is Danny Harrison, the man on pole position, pole being the outside line here, but taking the battle to him is Josh Gollin, also in white, as a crowded field. A little bit of wide running, we expect that as they go through Copse Corner for the first time, heading now down into Maggots and into then Beckett's corner. This is the view coming out of Maggots. It is Harrison that leads. Gollin in second position. Contact on race winner last time. Jamie Going with David Nye. I'm not saying it was deliberate, but some bunching going out of, and cars going all over the grass as well. Well, up front now it's the 77 car, Josh Gollin, who comes through in the position with Danny Harrison in second. Harrison looking to make the move, but some bunching led to that contact on Jamie Going, who we saw take a great win at Snetterton. The first win for him as Gollin throws the car into Brooklands. That surely is going to lose him momentum, and we've got to pick between the white cars. It looks like Harrison out front was going for a faster, more racy line, so he's going to be putting the pressure big time on the race leaders. Big fight going on for that third place, which at the moment is held by Simon Horrobin. Lee Dendy Sadler is second in the championship, incidentally. If you didn't pick up, he was 12th on the grid, with Lewis Kent 7th, so we've got some big guns in this championship, further down the grid than we would expect to see them. And that really underlines how competitive this championship is this year. We've had a lot of different drivers taking wins, and it's been a pleasure to watch this championship. And here we are on board with Danny Harrison. What a story, getting this new car together very quickly. His engineer Greg building the car in less than a week. Car supplied by BRSCC Racing. It was good to hear Danny name check his sponsors, and again a couple of cars going wide there as they go through Beckett's. Here is the view from Danny Harrison in second place. Remember, Harrison had pole position at the start of the year. Brands Hatcher won the opening round of the year. He won here at Silverstone in May as well. Picked up a win at Rockingham too, and he's through on the inside line. Harrison, great move down the inside line, passes Josh Gollin. But we know from qualifying, from previous racing, and of course that first lap, that Josh Gollin is well capable of taking the battle to him. It's Simon Horrobin, though, still in third place. Simon, of course, the boss of Specialised Motorsport and a multi-race winner in this championship as well. And in behind Simon, it's Nat Gollin in car number 25. So the Gollin brothers doing very well here. Gollin 25, Jamie Going looks up the inside line of championship leader Lewis Kent, the youngster from Whittam in Essex, who's holding on here very well indeed, but gets a little bit of contact on the back of Nat Gollin, but ends up going wide. Gollin still going in the right direction. It opens the door for Jamie Going in the 46 car to try and go through as well. Jamie Going's going to make up a position here on the inside line of Nat Gollin, the Cakesham Surrey-based youngster. And they go across the line to tick off another lap, and Jamie's got the inside line here coming down into Copse Corner. You saw Gollin saw him there and corrected. He would have clattered otherwise. That was a good piece of observation by Nat Gollin. I think it's lost him a bit of momentum. Lewis Kent, the championship leader in white and orange, coming through, and on the inside of Maggots to try and take the position, but it's going to be the outside for Stowe. Keep your eyes on Kent there. Golin held on to that position well, held his nerve, holds on to the position. These are the two race leaders, and it's Josh Golin who had his nose in front momentarily. This is the run down into Brooklands, and Danny Harrison in the 18 car gets across, grabs the line, dab on the brakes, just the quickest of dab of brakes as they go through Luffield, now heading towards Woodcote. And it's Harrison who's looking, he's hungry for that win once again. He's had a lot of retirements this year, but there's been absolutely no doubting his racecraft as he goes on to the last lap, no doubting his speed and ability to win. And here we are seeing him in a straight race with Josh Golin. It's been an absolute marvel to see. These two have had a great race, and Golin isn't finished yet. He'll try and close down. Fastest lap of the race is with Josh Golin, back on lap 6, a 69.893. So he will know he's got the pace. Look at the line he takes coming out of Maggots, now into Beckett's. He's going to have a look here, trying to get momentum down the Wellington Straight here. So through the gears, Harrison's got the inside line into Brooklands covered. That might be key to how this race finishes, but we're on board with Josh Golin in P2. Simon Horrobin still in third place. Here comes Golin. Is the door going to be open? He's not quite near enough to do anything about it. Harrison's going to hang on, but Harrison has still got to soak up the pressure. He does it through Brooklands. They're going into Luffield now, holding that tight inside line. Doesn't want to leave the door open. It might mean that it could be a wider line for Golin to get momentum. I think this is maybe a little bit too late for Golin, who has still got the fastest lap of the race, but it's going to be Danny Harrison that takes the win in that brand new car. Look for the checkered flag. There it is. Danny Harrison wins here at Silverstone, round 14 to him. Josh Golin in second. Simon Horrobin third from Jamie Going and Nat Golin. Then it was Lewis Kent, Josh Watkins from Sam Watkins, Richard Ashmole and Ryan Falconbridge. Larry Cosby next from Nick Sanderson, David Nye, Lee Denley Sadler, Bradley Kent and Mark Falconbridge. Non-finish, Nathan Edwards.
Well, Danny, I think that's how you christen the new car, put it on pole and then take it to a race victory. That was pretty much the perfect start for your new mount.
Yeah, exactly. That's all we wanted, really, just to show what we can do when we've got the right equipment. So that car really done us well in that race, and hopefully does throughout the rest of the season. But yeah, it was a tough race. We had Josh behind us the whole way. We said we was going to work together throughout, but yeah, we had a little scrap. It was very close, bumper to bumper the whole way, bump drafting, everything. But we got a clear gap, and I managed to get a top step, so we're happy with that.
Josh, that's another strong second place for you. It's been a bit of an up and down season, but another piece of silverware to take home.
Yeah, at the moment we seem to be having a run of DNFs or second place finishes. So for sure I'm happy to get second, but next time we'll definitely be pushing for that win.
John Cooper takes pole position in Class D from Jamie White. Jack Ewell third from Stuart Robbins and Sean Andrews. Then Tom Hutchins, Kenny Jones and Luke Bannister. Class A poles, Tim Bennett from Colin Newbold. Class B headed by Sean Banks. Then it's Mark Court, Derek Robinson and Theo Bridgman-Williams completing the grid. So big field overall, and it means we've got the Class A, B and D runners running separately from the Cs that we've already seen, and our first race of the weekend for this mixed class race is underway. Good start from John Cooper on pole position. Jamie White up into second. Third place has been taken by Stuart Robbins, who started in fourth. So he's outgunned Jack Ewell through into Copse Corner. Penny Jones in the mix there, chasing Thomas Hutchins with Luke Bannister in behind. Then Tim Bennett, the leading Class A runner. But it's John Cooper out front. Into Beckett's for the first time. There is Hutchins still in front of Penny Jones going around the Beckett's. Very, very long right-hand corner at Beckett's. Then it's the long run down the straight, the Wellington Straight. And at the end of that, an overtaking opportunity. If you can tuck down on the inside going into the left-hander at Brooklands with a shout of making a move. If you're very brave, you might be able to get the move done on the outside line. Jamie White still chasing John Cooper, the Simply Car Sales machine out front at the moment. There's a change for third. Jack Ewell goes back ahead of Stuart Robbins, and now Robbins coming under pressure from Sean Andrews in the red 17 car. And those two getting very close indeed, coming out of Luffield and heading round through Woodcote for the end of the first lap here. But a good first lap by John Cooper, still there. Cooper second in the championship, 32 points adrift of Jamie White, who is in second place. You might have seen at the start the oil flag which was there. Robbins at the moment getting the better of Sean Andrews. So Andrews was very brave looking on the outside line. He's not afraid to use that line. He'll dip down the inside and have a speculative look into Maggots. He's actually a little bit too far back to be able to do that. Tim Bennett, you can see, mixing it with some of the Class D runners, so he's running very well indeed in his Class A car. Remember, the Class A, the mid-90s Mark III Fiesta SIs, which were the main formula, which had the longest history in the championship, and the current iteration of the championship goes back to 97 when Mike Gorton was champion, and then the Class Bs joined in from 2002 as Jamie White pops his nose up the inside line. White going through on the inside line of John Cooper to take the lead. Jack Ewell still there in third place, but it's a change for the lead, and it's the championship leader, Jamie White, starting the season, of course, in great style with 5 wins on the bounce, really putting the marker down early on in this year's championship. And it's White out front, John Cooper in the 88 car, the man from Ossett, running in second place. John didn't have a bad first round at Brands Hatch, took third place in race 1, second in race 2, retirement in race 3, and off circuit goes Penny Jones. Oh, Penny thought the momentum was going to keep her going through the gravel, but she's stuck. She's going to have wheel spin there. That's going to require marshal assistance. So as well as the limited adhesion flag, or oil flag as we used to call it, is there. We'll see waved yellows there as well, while Penny's car needs to be extricated from the gravel. But out front, it's White, Cooper and Ewell, the top 3 from qualifying, slightly different order. Marshal assistance for Penelope Jones in her Daniels Motorsport car. So 3-shot goes Luke Bannister, and then the lead car here, Tim Bennett, he leads Class A. Welcome back to Silverstone, the battle for the lead, because sadly we've lost John Cooper, who retired on lap 6 of the race. But as you can see, things are very close, with Jack Ewell putting massive pressure on the race leader, which is championship leader Jamie White, who's out front. But look at Jack Ewell, we've seen him on the podium many times, but he fancies that win. Now it looks like he's got the speed. He's really been racking up some very fast laps, and literally all over the back of the championship leader's car. Makes a move now, heading down into Maggots. Are we going to see Jack Ewell take the lead? The man from Stroud's piling the pressure on. Inside at Maggots, outside at Beckett's. He couldn't quite have the momentum there to go round, but what he does have is big pressure being applied on the race leader. Out of Beckett's again, and heading down the Wellington Straight. I think that's Derek Robinson, the Class B leader, going through immediately in behind them. Derek finds himself a lap down. This race, we're expecting it to be 17 or 18 laps, 20-minute race, the BRSCC racing format, and it's Jamie White still there. Super bit of racing between these two. Jack Ewell all over the back of him. Ewell with no pressure on, and Jamie White, the former Mighty Mini champion, difficult to say, we'll put the teeth back in, multi-champion out front, switched disciplines from Minis into Fiestas, still front-wheel drive, and it's something that he's done with aplomb. And Jack Ewell, who's been learning his craft, is racing superbly here, still looking for his first win. He had second position at Rockingham earlier on in the year, so he knows what it's like to be on the podium. But as one of my Scottish colleagues says, podiums get very old very quickly, and he is now hungry for that first win. He's looking on the outside line as they go down in towards Brooklands now. He might chip back and go at the inside. Can't quite do that, so he's still in second position, but has another sortie to the outside line to see if he can get past Jamie White. He's exploring every bit of track here, Jack Ewell. You can see that we've got a little bit of, well, not traffic, we've got a lone car ahead that these guys will have to deal with, and it's still White out front, the championship leader. But Ewell has been applying the pressure right the way through this race in fine style, and it's going to be a very hard-earned podium, in fact, for both drivers. Coming through here is the 22 car. That's Theo Bridgman-Williams, of course, running in Class A. And on the inside line, Jack Ewell takes it. Jack Ewell's got the lead. Magnificent stuff from Ewell. He's in the lead. Is he going to bag a first win? Jamie White will try and respond. White's looking on the inside line. Is he making a little bit of contact there? It was certainly very close between the two. And White is now looking up the inside line as they go down the Wellington Straight. White's got back in front. Yule down into second position. So here we come, up towards the checkered flag. Jamie White is going to take the win. Jack Yule, a hard-fought second position. There is the checker as they pass Theo Bridgman-Williams. Well, Jamie White excluded from the results, driving in a manner incompatible with general safety. So Jack Yule takes his first win. Congratulations to him. Stuart Robbins was next. Sean Andrews, Tom Hutchins, Luke Bannister, Tim Bennett winning Class A, Derek Robinson, Class B.
Stuart, third place for you, but it wasn't without its dramas, was it?
No, I should have been able to run with the front people. Yesterday, in practice, I did 11.6, which should have put me on pole. For some reason, in quali, I was a second off. I had the pace in the car, as you could see, after I spun off, I still managed to catch them back up, overtake them and pull away.
So moving into Sunday's action, we now get set for Class C Race 2 with once again Danny Harrison and Josh Golling on the front row of the grid. And watch for row 2 where Simon Horrobin and Jamie Going, the team bosses for Specialised in Jam Sport, started together on that second row. Could make for very interesting watching. So Richard, over to you.
Thanks, Scott. It is a great story, isn't it? Pole position, though, to race 1 winner Danny Harrison from Josh Golling. Horrobin and Going on row 2, then Nat Golling and Lewis Kent. Josh and Sam Watkins on row 4 from Richard Ashmole and Ryan Falconbridge. Larry Cosby next from Nick Sanderson. David Nye, Lee Dendy Sadler, Bradley Kent, Mark Falconbridge, and retiree from race 1, Nathan Edwards. It's all clear at the back of the grid. The lights are on. No mucking about here at this BRSCC meeting. The lights are out and away we go at Silverstone for race 2. Deja vu from race 1. It's the 2 white cars. It's all white off the front with going across Danny Harrison side by side with Josh Golling. Once again, these two renewed battle, and that's of course how the meeting should pan out, with the race results from race 1 really determining the grid for race 2. We get a continuation of the battle as they head down out of, and Going wide, little contact there. Going just nudges into Kent, who goes across and collects the first and second place drivers. Kent is off, Josh Golling is off, Danny Harrison is off as well. It's another big story, but not the one we wanted to hear at the start of race 2. It just looked like a nudge from Jamie Going on championship leader Lewis Kent. So it's Simon Horrobin out front now in orange. Horrobin the leader. Jamie Going, ironically, has come through into second. On the outside line is Nat Golling. Through Brooklands into Luffield they go. Horrobin. Oh, and Horrobin's lost the back end. Horrobin's gone around and through on the inside line now goes Nat Golling. Here's a replay of what happened exiting Maggots. Quite rightly, of course, Danny Harrison hands aloft. He won't have seen what happened. It was a racing incident for sure. There was no malice in any of the contact there, as ever is usually, of course, the case in British motor racing. But Harrison now finds himself potentially out of the race. We're looking at the number 11. That's Lee Dendy Sadler, the Gravesend man, who is second in the championship. And here is Danny Harrison gesticulating madly. We've got heavily waved yellows here while the marshals do their usual wonderful work to sort things out here. Richard Ashmole in the white 5 on the inside of Josh Watkins, the Welshman, still very close in the pack. Quite how you deem whether an overtake has happened under yellows when they're side by side in so many numbers is difficult to tell. And of course that's the difficulty for clerks of the course. And you know, the clerks often get a very bad press, but believe you me, they're human like the rest of us. It's a very, very difficult job, the clerk of the course. And anyone says they could do a better job, well, they'll be welcome to come and train and put themselves in that position. Here we are, though. So we were looking in race number 1 about Josh Golling maybe getting his first win, and this time it's Nat Golling who's out front. Great racing going on down the order. We've got Larry Cosmin on the inside line. Cosmin, 2 top 10 finishes at Snetterton, and he's well stuck in the mix. Look at this, 3 wide, 4 wide as they go into Copse, and heading this group is Josh Watkins from Cosmin. Then the driver making progress, Nathan Edwards in 21, the black and orange car. Nathan, by all rights, really should be a championship contender this year, but he's had such dismal luck over the course of the season, and one hopes that next year he'll come back. Bradley Kent in 44 on the outside line, moving up from juniors, bouncing a little bit wide. Bradley proving that the step from juniors into senior racing is not as big as you might expect. He's really acquitting himself well in his first outing here with the senior class drivers, and of course the BRSCC providing a ladder that the drivers can work in. Starts off in the junior formulae and then move up into the seniors effectively with the same kit as well, which is great as well. You don't have to shell out necessarily for new kit, so it's a terrific initiative. And the two classes, the juniors and seniors, share their racing weekends by and large. I think there's been a couple of occasions over recent years where they haven't done, but by and large it's the same weekend, and it makes sense for the teams and drivers to be able to do that. Larry Cosmin up ahead of Sam Watkins now, and coming out of Luffield into Stowe Corner once again. I can tell you that Danny Harrison is still running, but we've got a cracking battle on for the lead now. David Nye chasing Nat Gollin. David Nye, the former champion, of course, was the Class D champion back in 2015 and the Class A champion in 2009, so multiple champion, multiple race winner here, a lot of experience, so he's going to pile the pressure on 25. Nat Gollin, Nat's best finish so far, had some podia at Snetterton, so this is technically new territory for him, and with a multi-champion behind him, an ex-touring car driver as well, this is going to be a good measure of the youngster. And again, it shows just how competitive this championship is once again this year. Richard Ashmole has come through into third. David Nye gets a Mr. Whippy on there at Luffield. That scrubs off speed. It's going to take the pressure off Nat Gollin, who is still in front. Look at Richard Ashmole, 2010 here, could get a maiden podium for Richard Ashmole here. That's going to be a big story. Ryan Falconbridge has come through as well. So Ryan Falconbridge is running well. He's there in fourth place at the moment. And remember, Ryan Falconbridge started the first race away back, started off the grid here in 10th place, so he's made great progress, as has Richard Ashmole up from 9th, and Ashmole challenging David Nye in the closing stages of this one, and looks on the outside line. Nye's got it covered though on the inside going into Beckett's. Nye versus Ashmole. David Nye still there, the Sussex-based racer, and all this battling for second place is allowing Nat Gollin to get away. We could see another first-time winner here in the BRSCC Fiesta Championship. It's been a fiercely competitive year, and I can't recall a season when we've had a driver now with 4 retirements leading the championship. We've never had that before. It's been that close this year, but look at this lead trio, almost a quartet. Ryan Falconbridge trying to close in, but it looks like Nat Gollin is soaking up the pressure. David Nye is mounting a last-minute bid to try and close in. They come out of Stowe Corner now and head down towards the checkered flag, but it looks like Nat Gollin's going to take his first win. The Surrey man will look for the checkered flag. There it is. Gollin takes the win. David Nye second. Richard Ashmole, first podium for 2010. Ryan Falconbridge is next from Jamie Going, and then Sam and Josh Watkins. Simon Horrobin 8th from Lee Dendy Sadler. Mark Falconbridge in 10th from Bradley Kent. And Danny Harrison, a consolation 12th place.
Well, that a first victory for you in Class in Fiestas, but I think that race was eventful, to say the least.
Very eventful. Kind of gifted that. There was a crash at the top corner at the circuit, and got into first place by the end of the first lap, and it was a really, really long race. Just wanted it over.
Well, Richard, first podium for you in Fiestas, and I think in some ways you might not have expected that.
No, not really. I was starting in 9th. Was hoping to go 4, but not by that much. And I think after the first race, it was just damage limitation and keep out of trouble really. And as the first race, there was damage in this contact in the second corner. And then obviously gained a few positions from that, and just kept my head down and kept looking away really, and hoped other people got tangled up.
Right, Class C's have got their second race out of the way. Time for Classes A, B and D this time. Here's Richard once again with the full grid.
Thanks, Scott. Jack Ewell on pole, Stuart Robbins alongside. Row 2, Sean Andrews and Tom Hutchins. They're followed by Luke Bannister and Tim Bennett. Mark Court and Colin Newbold, row 4. Theo Bridgman Williams next with Derek Robinson, Sean Banks and John Cooper, ahead of Penny Jones and Jamie White. So an all Class D back row. Watch Penny Jones and Jamie White as they try and make their way through the field. The lights are off very quickly indeed. Looks like a good start from the front row of the grid from Stuart Robbins and Jack Ewell. Also good start too from Tim Bennett. from 5th position on the grid, 6th position on the grid, I beg your pardon, because he leads coming into Beckett's. So Bennett, the race leader, Jack Ewell in 2nd, then Sean Andrews in 17, and Jamie White's cleared half the field already in the green 45 car. Excluded, took the checkered flag in race 1, but excluded, as we mentioned, for driving in a manner incompatible with general safety. And he therefore is very determined after that exclusion to come through from the back of the field, which he started to do already. Jack Ewell, though, makes the move, goes through into the race lead, followed by the red car of Sean Andrews up into 2nd place. Jamie White challenging for 3rd, and we absolutely respect what a great first lap it was by Tim Bennett. Problems there between John Cooper and Luke Bannister. A little bit of contact between the two as I was focusing on Tim Bennett, who's still there in 4th place. Incredible stuff from the Class A machine, and he at the moment is up ahead of Stuart Robbins, who started on the front row. Jamie White's cleared him, and look at the Class A car putting the pressure on Jamie White, who in turn is busy having a very good look at the moment at the 17 machine of Sean Andrews. Well, Jamie White, you'd be very brave to bet against him. Here comes Penny Jones, who started with him on the back row of the grid. The yellow car of Mark Court, who we hadn't seen since the start of the season. The 22 car again of Theo Bridgman-Williams is in behind. The white and green car of Sean Banks, the Class B leader, is in the mix as well. And coming down the straight, Jack Ewell still there. Jamie White has come through now into 2nd position and passes Sean Andrews. So the man from High Wycombe still on the podium, but immediately now behind Jamie White, who's come through from row 7 of the grid in his opening laps, and now coming back at him is Sean Andrews on the inside line. So Andrews doesn't want to give up 2nd position without a fight, and might have his nose in front as they go across the line to tick off another lap. Andrews has got the inside line running down into Copse Corner, but it's Jack Ewell out front. Ewell got the fastest lap of the race in race number 1, and now he's had that win. Albeit he was 2nd across the line, but an inherited win is an outright win nonetheless. And he's going to be key. But look at that. Very forceful racing there coming through from John Cooper, trying to recover from that little moment earlier on. So Cooper goes through. Thomas Hutchins in the mix as well. Then Tim Bennett, who's still punching very much above his weight there in that Class A car. Incredible stuff from Bennett, particularly on the opening lap. But out front, it looks like 2nd position is a little bit more settled now. Stuart Robbins is trying to get into the mix. Robbins will, of course, want to try and take a podium. So 2nd race of the weekend here for the A, Bs and Ds. As with the Class C cars, Championship moves on to Croft next time, which is great, in September. Donington Park for the finale. And some issues, of course, still very much to be settled. Jack Ewell, though, out front. He will want the outright win this time. And he looked very determined in race number 1. It was a mega race from Jack. Coming down towards us then, Tom Hutchins up ahead of Sean Andrews. Then we've got John Cooper coming under pressure from Stuart Robbins in the 00 car. Remember, Cooper has had race wins this year, outright race wins, as well as the class wins, where we've been mixed up with the Class Cs. But this weekend, such is the entry that we've been able to split the Class Cs, which is the biggest entry class, as it has been over the last few seasons, of course. And then Class D, which has been growing and growing over the 4 full seasons of its existence so far, mixed up with the Class A and B cars. The Class A is the mid-1990s Mark III Fiesta, the B's the Mark V Fiesta Zetec, using the slightly smaller 1400cc engine. And of course the A's, if you're wondering how the Class A car managed to come through, used an 1800cc engine, the Class D Zetec S, the 1600. And very clearly the Class A car being very well driven by Tim Bennett, who's on his way, by the looks of it, to yet another class win. So through and past the 76 car of Derek Robinson go the race leaders. Jamie White still busy chasing Jack Ewell. So it's the tables turned really from race number 1, with Ewell the man under pressure. We've seen that he's very good at attacking, and now we're seeing that he's also seemingly very good at soaking up the pressure as well. Look, he's holding that gap. Derek Robinson is going to have a look down the inside line. Robinson won race number 1 in Class B. At the moment, it's Sean Banks holding sway in this one. A black and white flag going out for Sean Andrews. So Sean will be wondering what it is that he's done wrong. I suspect it might be track limits. That's the usual one, as the battle for the lead still continues on. And Jack Ewell, for my money, looking very good here. Fastest lap of the race, though, on lap 9 went to Jamie White, the pursuer. And White, remembers, come through from the back of the grid. There is Sean Banks, 12th position on circuit, and Sean leading Class B from Derek Robinson. And it's a competitive class, as we mentioned. You just saw a flash of the dark blue car of Robinson going through. And Robinson, so it's going to be 2 different winners in Class B, competitive class. Only the 2 runners in Class B this weekend. Banks has got the fastest lap in this one as well. As Jack Ewell comes through Stowe Corner and ticks off another lap. They're closing down on Sean Banks. I'm wondering whether Sean is going to be passed. Sean himself actually putting in some pretty decent lap times here. 1.6 miles to Silverstone National Circuit. And it's Jack Ewell still the leader from Jamie White. So Ewell looking for a first outright checker. He took the win in race number 1. Let's not take that away from him. But of course he wants to beat Jamie White fair and square, which is what he's doing now as they head down for the last time the Wellington Straight. Here comes Ewell, though, up towards the checkered flag. It's going to be Jack Ewell to make it 2 wins out of 2. Bagged his first win in race number 1. And there's the checker. Jack Ewell sees the checker. Jamie White second. Tom Hutchins takes third from John Cooper, then Sean Andrews, Stuart Robbins next, Penny Jones and Tim Bennett, Mark Court and Luke Bannister. Colin Newbold next from Sean Banks, who wins Class B. Derek Robinson second in class. Tim Bennett, of course, having won Class A.
Jack, that turns out to be your second race win of the weekend, and it seems to be working pretty nicely so far.
Yeah, it's a good weekend so far at Silverstone.
How did that sort of work out for you? Because you had Jamie coming through from the back of the field, but it didn't look as easy as it looked.
No, I always knew he was going to be quick and trying to make his way up, but I had a bit of an incident in the first corner. I got tagged by someone, which didn't help my getaway, but yeah, after that it was just defend as soon as I saw Jamie behind.
So it's time for the final race of the weekend for Class C here at Silverstone. Fingers crossed there'll be a little less controversy on this one. The pole position is the man that finished in top spot on race 2, and that is of course Nat Gollin. Nat, of course, pole position now, it's all to play for in Cops.
Yeah, just got to get away, to be honest. It's not great starting on the outside of the grid. I could easily get up the inside of me, but I've just got to nail the start and just try and pull away, and hopefully there'll be some more battling behind me.
Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Right, let's see how Nat and the rest of the cars get on. Richard, time for you for the final Class C race.
Thank you, Scott. Nat Gollin and David Nye pole position, and Richard Ashmole and Ryan Falconbridge alongside. Jamie Going and Sam Watkins next, Josh Watkins and Simon Horrobin, Lee Dendy Sandler and Mark Falconbridge next up from Bradley Kent and Danny Harrison. Larry Cosmin on row 7 with Nathan Edwards, Nick Sanderson and Josh Gollin row 8. Lewis Kent, championship leader, with it all to do from the back of the grid. You'd be forgiven for thinking this was a reverse grid race with the championship leader at the back. It's not. The lights are on, the lights are off, and away we go. On board with Danny Harrison. This is from row 6, so he is down towards the back of the grid, but he did finish that last race, so he's got a better position, say, than Lewis Kent, and also Josh Gollin makes light work there of Mark Falconbridge, who started immediately in front of him. And this is good work so far from Harrison. He was inch perfect on the exit of Cops, on board with the 77 car of Josh Gollin. You can see how busy it is. You can see why there were problems in that second race at the start when they came out of Maggots and into Beckett's. A little bit of a bumpy ride there for Nathan Edwards, who's had a miserable time this year. Sorry to keep rubbing it in, Nathan, but a driver of great talent who deserves a lot better. Here's the view from Harrison looking at the back end of Lee Dendy Sadler, second in the championship. Not the best of weekends for him. It's still Gollin out front, but loses the back. Oh, he doesn't lose it, he collects it up. That was a good save from Gollin. He's lost the lead, he's down in third place, and now challenging for the lead is David Nye on the outside line of Sam Watkins, but it's Watkins the race leader. Nye is next up, then Nat Gollin followed by Jamie Going, Josh Watkins in the red number 6, followed by Danny Harrison, who's come through superbly. Following Danny Harrison is Ryan Falconbridge. Harrison on the outside line coming into Cops. Again, you need to watch the exit line for track limits, because that's one of the key places where you can get done, and Harrison is perfect again. He's charging through the field, but he's very mindful of where he's placing the car. He's getting the job done, he's getting past cars, he's getting up towards the lead bunch, and who would have expected that from row 6 on the grid? Danny Harrison driving well. He's caught Jamie going now, so he's going to get stuck into Jamie. We've got David Nye out front. A little bit of an excursion off circuit once again. This time involving Josh Gollin, who gets back on track. Josh trying to work his way through from row 8. David Nye, though, now the race leader. Nat Gollin in second place. Sam Watkins is third. And look at the battle on for fourth place. And it's Danny Harrison trying to go through and grab that. Harrison here, if he makes the move here, there's no doubt he's actually in with a shout of taking a race win here. He's certainly going to be looking towards a podium, but he's made great progress. Getting dumped down the order a little bit is Sam Watkins, but David Nye is the race leader. Here we go, on board once again with Josh Gollin. This could have been the battle for the lead, because we've got the championship leader Lewis Kent on the outside line, and Gollin grabs the line on the inside, takes the position away from the championship leader, who of course is just going to be thinking about whatever points he can get from this race. Third race of the weekend, more for you after the break. Welcome back to Silverstone. You're watching the battle for second place. The race leader David Nye goes through shot, and in second place it's Danny Harrison, who's come through from row 6, and behind him from row 8 on the grid, Josh Gollin. Those two of course diced it out in race number 1, with Harrison taking the honours in his brand new car. They both got speared in race number 2. Harrison did finish, Gollin was a non-finisher, and Josh Gollin here closing down on Danny Harrison. So both, this has almost been a reverse grid race. I'm wondering if it will give food for thought to the organisers about having reverse grids next year, or maybe partially reverse grids, a la British touring cars, and of course many other championships do that. It was all originated in circuit racing by Legends Cars, which has been running that format very successfully for 2 decades. But anyway, I digress. Here we go, on board with Josh Gollin. Looks to the outside, tucks back in on the inside line here. He's getting a run down into Brooklands. Can he take second position away from Danny Harrison? He's done it. Good move by Gollin. So Gollin up into second place from the penultimate row of the grid, but the fight is not over for Danny Harrison, who looks to the outside line, who tried to square the exit of the corner off, maybe get a run up the inside line out of Stowe Corner and across the line, but it looks to me as if the momentum is with Josh Gollin. And one would say that both of these drivers have had a super run through the field. Gollin, 2 rows behind Harrison at the start, has done a spectacular job. Harrison done well too, and these two continue their battle again. We've seen them pass each other a couple of times in this meeting. Harrison and Gollin's car both been in the wars. Harrison's a new machine provided by Brisky Racing for him, as we said in race number 1. David Nye still out front. He flashes through shot. Good drive here as well for Lewis Kent. He's in behind. Keep your eyes open for the white and orange car of Lewis Kent. He's in 4th place. He's come through from 17th on the grid, up into 4th position. Jamie Going, a flash of white and green. He is in 5th place, ahead of Sam Watkins at the moment. But it looks like it's going to be, I think, a second Class C career win for multi-champion David Nye. He won in Class C here back in 2010. His last Fiesta race win was Class D here, August 2015, when he beat David Abbott. The man who won the remaining races that year was Alistair Kellett, who went on to take the championship title the following season in Class D. But David Nye is coming up to the checkered flag and grabs a win, another first-time winner for this year. A maiden win this year for David Nye from Josh Gollin and Danny Harrison. Lewis Kent next from Jamie Going. Sam Watkins 6th from Simon Horrobin. Nat Gollin 8th from Josh Watkins. Ryan Falconbridge completes the top 10. Then it was Richard Ashmole, Larry Cosmin 12th from Lee Denley Sadler and Nathan Edwards. Mark Falconbridge completing the finishers in 15th.
Well, David, top way to end the weekend with a victory. Got to be pleased with that.
I am. First one this year. Been trying a long time to get there, and surprised I haven't got there before now. But okay, chipping away. We get up there.
Crucial results as well, as your championship contenders also had a pretty bit of a nightmare.
Yeah, that's a bonus. It's what we're working to. Last race, just hang on, didn't do anything stupid, just to get some points.
But Josh, you get to end the weekend on a high as well with 2nd place, and again, another up and down weekend for you too.
Yeah, not sure what to say really. I mean, it was going so well. We qualified 2nd and finished 2nd in the first race, very, very close to taking the win. Got into the lead in the 2nd race, and there was a big accident behind me and I got completely wiped out. Nothing I could do about that. but the Grip Pro team did a fantastic job getting the car back together to even get me out there for the third race, let alone have a decent chance. And yeah, things all went right, and we got up to second. A couple more laps, I think, we could have been challenging for the win, but the race is 20 minutes.
Jack Ewell on pole position for the last race of the weekend from Jamie White, Tom Hutchins and John Cooper row 2, then Sean Andrews and Stuart Robbins. Penny Jones next from Class A poleman Tim Bennett, Mark Court next from Luke Bannister, then Colin Newbold and Sean Banks, pole position for Class B, Derek Robinson and Theo Bridgman-Williams due to complete the grid, but I can't see Theo Bridgman-Williams there, sadly, after his retirement in race 2. Lights out for race 3. Jamie White and Jack Ewell on the front row of the grid. White's got the lead. Ewell looking a little bit slow off the start. Up into second place goes John Cooper. Up into third goes Tom Hutchins. And Ewell is battling for fourth place. Not the start that our double winner wanted here. We've got Sean Andrews in behind them as well. Ewell's got the inside line going up into Maggot, so doesn't get any further back than fourth place, but he's got work to do. Jamie White, though, looking to get back to winning ways. He's the race leader. Cooper second. Hutchins in third position. Tim Bennett still leading Class A. Slightly errant Penny Jones there, bouncing over the curbs. Class A leader being followed by the yellow car of Mark Court. So we've got some good racing really going on in Classes A and B. Remember, it's honours even in Class B so far between Derek Robinson and Sean Banks. And we'll see who's going to get this one, which I guess we could call technically a decider. Good racing on for second place at the moment. Oh, and a problem there for the 88 car of John Cooper. Gets all squirrely. He's sideways. Penny Jones comes out in sympathy. Now, is there fluid down? Is it wet, or was that a reactionary move? You can see the good news is that John Cooper has rejoined the track. We're following at the moment Luke Bannister. Luke up ahead of Sean Banks. Banks in white and green. The dark blue car of Derek Robinson, his class challenger. One win apiece for them and still close together on circuit. As you watch Jack Ewell, who's now back up into third. About to have a look here at Tom Hutchins. He's going to try and go through on the inside line. Hutchins, though, won't want to surrender, and he's going to be on the outside for Beckett's. If you maintain the outside of Beckett's, you'll grab potentially the inside line down at Brookland. So fine piece of racing between these two, and a good holdout here by Hutchins, who I think is still level at the moment with our double winner Jack Ewell. This is good racing for second place between the two of them. So it's Jamie White, the green car, the race leader, and they are still side by side for second place. Ewell had his nose in front but cedes it very sensibly, I think, going down into Brooklands. And Tom Hutchins with a good piece of racing from him, holding on to that outside line right the way round Beckett's. And he knew that that would tee him up for the inside at Brooklands, so he maintained second place. Jack Ewell in third. Fourth place is Sean Andrews, who was on the podium, of course, in race number 1. There he is in the red 17. And then 00 of Stuart Robbins in behind in fifth place. Ewell having a look now, this time going down into Copse to try and have a sortie into second position on the inside line of the 29 car of Tom Hutchins. The man from Crowborough, though, holding on at the moment. Still Jamie White in that lead position. So interesting race here. White leader, but not streets ahead, must be said at the moment. Four-way scrap going on for second place. Stuart Robbins might be in a handy position here to nip through. Robbins, remember, we've seen him pick up loads of second positions over the course of the season. So a driver that we would very much expect to be knocking on the door of a win. Jack Ewell having done 2. He'd dearly love a third win, but you've got to say at the moment, probably looking a little bit distant back in third place with Sean Andrews in behind. Andrews' first podium in race number 1. He's going to be keen to try and improve on that as well. Here they come, though. Still the race leader Jamie White, and the top 5 starting to settle down just a little bit now as the race leader heads down into Copse Corner. You can see in 6th position it's still Tim Bennett. Well, I said that things were settling down. Jack Ewell had other ideas. He's come through into lead position, but it's still a massive fight going on for the rest of the podium positions. Ewell's done absolutely remarkably at this meeting, and he's really setting a benchmark down for the rest of the year. Remember, he was third in the championship coming into this meeting, so by no means out of contention, but he's going to set himself up here as a future champion. Class A battle. Tim Bennett here in blue, up ahead of the yellow car of Mark Court. Mark grabbed a second position in class at Brands Hatch in round number 3. So you can see the gap between those two cars pretty close. It's not a challenge at the moment by Mark Court, but as the meeting's gone on, he seems to have got closer and closer to Tim Bennett. And we've also got the battle in Class B as well. So we pick up with Sean Banks, the white and green car. They're closing in on Penny Jones, who's running 7th in Class D. Derek Robinson in the dark blue car, 2nd in Class B. So we've got a battle in Class A, battle in Class B, and some super racing going on in Class D at the head of the field as well. And that racing at the moment is for a podium position. And it's Sean Andrews defending the podium. He inherited a podium in race number 1. He wants an outright one in this one. And if he carries on the way he's going to take it as well. Jack Ewell's on his way to a hat-trick, but you can see wipers on. Conditions not getting easier here at Silverstone today. The drivers have behaved themselves pretty much impeccably so far. We've had some super racing from all 4 classes in the BRSCC Fiesta Championship, and it's continued here. And Jack Ewell, it's going to be an historic treble for him. Absolutely brilliant. First win and bag 3 on the bounce. The car is on song. He's very clearly in tune with the car and the circuit. Jamie White goes through. Look at this scrap for 3rd place though. Andrew's still there. Stuart Robbins goes very, very deep into Brooklands, and he manages to stave off John Cooper. Tom Hutchins in the mix as well. But here comes the race leader. Jack Ewell might have started on pole position, but remember, he was very nearly 5th when they went round the first corner. So he's battled back from that. He crosses the line. He's still out front. Jamie White still in 2nd place, and bang! Into the barrier goes John Cooper. We're in the later stages of the race. Cooper's car, that's in a prone position. Marshall's very quickly on scene. Also, organisers putting out the red flag, and it's a win for Jack Ewell from Jamie White, Sean Andrews, Stuart Robbins and Tom Hutchins. Tim Bennett winning Class A. Mark Court next in A. Colin Newbold next from Luke Bannister and Penny Jones. Derek Robinson gets the honours in B from Sean Banks.
Well, Jack, the rain stopped play, but it didn't stop you from winning a hat-trick, and that's been a pretty satisfying weekend.
Yeah, pretty perfect, really. I said I'd give it another go, so did it. Only just.
That's a massive haul of points going to the last couple of rounds, so that must be really pleasing for you.
Yeah, definitely. It's points in the bag, which was definitely needed, and good weekend.
Derek, a great way to end the weekend with a victory. That's pretty satisfying out there.
Yep, I was done well out there, I think. The weather changed, and it went a bit my way, I think. I was lucky. I won it by 0.3 of a second, which was like blink of an eye. So yeah, really, really pleased with that.